Today on the bench I'm going to tie you up one of my favorite go-to patterns, and it's called the parachute Cahill. Make sure you have these materials ready before you tie the fly. For the hook we're going to use a size 12 to 20 dry fly. We'll use some 8/0 light Cahill thread for the thread, some barred ginger fibers for the tail, some light Cahill thread for the body, some white calf tail for the post, and a barred ginger hackle for the hackle. First step to the fly is to take your light Cahill thread and work up a good base onto the hook. I've taken some barred ginger hackle, and this is a fairly thick one from the back of the cape. I want these longer barbs to use for the tail, so I'm going to pull off about 8 to 10. Stack them fairly evenly, extend them the length of the hook, and then tie them in for the tail. I've moved the thread up about 2/3 up towards the eyelet. Now I've taken some white calf tail, taken out all the fluff and the under fur, and we're just going to tie it in for the post. And when we tie this in, first of all, tie it down. Make sure the material's all tied in. Then what we're going to do is extend the post up. So now I'm going to tie it in front of the post. Take about 20 wraps of thread in front, and then I'm going to start taking loops around the base of the post to try to start forming my post. And again, take some more wraps in front, and keep going around the bottom of your post until your post is straight up and making a really good post on the top of the fly. I'm going to take my thread, now that I have my post actually stacked, and I'm just going to start building up a tapered body with the thread. And again, I normally tie this fly in size 16s and 18s, even to 14s, but for demonstration purposes so you can see it, I'm tying it on a size 12 hook. And again, just keep building up the thread to get a nice tapered body built up. For the next step, I'm going to take my barred ginger again for the hackle, and the important thing here is I'm actually going to tie the hackle into the stem. I'm not going to tie it onto the body. I'm actually tying it in and on the stem. Now, this is important because the way we're going to finish the fly later, you want this hackle tied onto the stem. Now that the hackle is tied onto the stem, I'm going to start building up my thorax. Now there's different ways you can do it. Again, I'm just going to use the thread to build up the thorax. Another good way is to take some dubbing material and build up a nice fluffy thorax, but I just like the thread in this case. And what I'm going to do is finish near the eyelet. Now once I've built up my thorax, I'm actually going to whip finish this off. So we'll take our whip finisher and whip finish the thread right at the eyelet. And there's a reason for this I'm going to explain in the next step. Now to finish the fly off, I'm going to take the fly and slide it so it's straight up and down in the vise, because I'm actually going to finish my fly and finish my hackle right onto the post. So now what I'm going to do is take my thread and tie it back onto the post. Now that we have the thread onto the post, take some hackle pliers and start winding our hackle around the post. And you're going to want to take probably 5 to 6 turns. You want to build up a real nice hackle on this fly. So I'm going to take probably about 6 turns, and then finish right at the base of the post with your thread and wrap that around. That way the thorax doesn't get all built up and you get a real nice parachute hackle built. Now we'll take our whip finisher and whip finish right at the base of the post. To finish the fly off, I'm now going to take it and move it back horizontal in my vise and trim the post. And again, the post should be about the length of the hook, maybe a little bit less. And there it is, the finished parachute Cahill. Like I said before, it is one of my go-to patterns, and the reason is when you finish the hackle on the post, the fly sits that much lower in the water and looks that much more appealing to the fish.